What do you think the Christian position should be on the death penalty? I've talked to some Christian friends of mine, and I am pro death penalty, and some of my Christian friends are not, saying that that's not biblical.
So what do they think should be done? What do they think should be done to murderers?
They say that shouldn't be up to that is the same thing as murder. It's just from a different way of doing it.
No. I said, what do they think should be done to murderers?
Be put in jail for the rest of their life.
Okay, and who pays for that?
Taxpayers.
Okay, so the taxpayers are victimized first by having a criminal about who kills people, and then they're victimized for the rest of that person's life, supporting him not to work in an expensive environment in a prison for the rest of his life. So in other words, he gets to victimize the populace in his crime and in his punishment. Interesting. I don't really see how that's a just punishment. The Bible doesn't know of any punishment for murder other than capital punishment. Now, capital punishment is not murder. It's justice. It's punishment. You see, murder is when you kill somebody who's innocent, like when you abort a baby, for example. You're killing an innocent person, or maybe a living person who's innocent. You kill him, that's murder. That God said this numerous times. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. He said that in Genesis 9, and throughout the law he says.
They quote the verse where it says, where God said that the vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Right, and they should also read chapter 13 of Romans, where it says that God has appointed the state as his instrument of vengeance. So at the end of chapter 12 of Romans, Paul quotes Deuteronomy, where God says, vengeance is mine, I will repay. And Paul tells the Christians not to avenge themselves because God's going to avenge. And then the very next verses in Romans 13 say, the state is ordained by God to be the avenger of those who do wrong. So, in other words, God avenges evil through the state. He doesn't let us Christians avenge ourselves because he wants us to keep our hands clean from that. But he'll take care of it, and the way he takes care of it is, he said, he's ordained the state to do that. So, I mean, I don't believe that Christians should kill murderers. I don't think that if somebody kills my wife or my children, I don't think I should go hunt them down and kill them. I don't think the Bible authorizes me to do that. But the state should, because the state is authorized by God to do that. I'm not going to avenge myself, but God is going to avenge, and there's nothing wrong with a crime being avenged. It's just that God doesn't want me to do it with my own hands. He'll do it, and he does it through the state, through a criminal justice system. Actually, if they don't believe in capital punishment, because we should leave vengeance to God, well, we shouldn't put them in jail either, because that's not leaving vengeance to God, is it? So we shouldn't do anything to criminals. We should just let criminals walk and wait for God to do something, like strike them with lightning. Is that what they have in mind? No, if you put a person in jail, you are punishing them. If you give them the electric chair, you're also punishing them. If you charge them a fine, you're also punishing them. In no case are you leaving vengeance strictly to God. But the state is ordained by God to exercise just punishments on crimes. And the Bible is very clear. The just punishment for murder is capital punishment. The just punishment for theft is to repay with a penalty and make restitution. There's different punishments that are due different crimes, but God has ordained the government to execute those punishments. And there's nothing in the New Testament or the Old that suggests for a moment that there's a better punishment for murder than capital punishment. If people say, well, we should turn the other cheek, well, the Bible never told the courts and the police to turn the other cheek toward criminals. They're supposed to be protecting people who are turning the other cheek. And by the way, putting someone in jail is not turning the other cheek either. So, they're just not consistent. They're people who don't think, they feel. And many Christians are in that position. They make their decisions based on their feelings, not on their rational thinking or on what the Bible says.